Hi. Hello. Happy Sunday. And welcome to our December area hangout. I'll give everybody just a minute to hop on and join us and make sure we're working here while I get my notes together. So there's that little bit of awkwardness here while we wait. Let me get comfy. I like my big fuzzy pink pillows. Make sure my lighting's right. I don't think I need that pillow. So there we go. Now we got some people. So how's everybody? Happy December. I made myself a little workstation here and I don't think it's big enough. But anyway, I am so excited. Let me make sure it's bright enough there if y'all can see me. I'm so excited to join you tonight. Happy December. I'm wearing my shirt that says Living the NSD Sweet Life. If you want to know what my shirt says, let's see. There we go. Maybe you can see it now. And I'm just chilling out here in my bedroom and we're going to get started. Okay. So happy anniversary to the Make It Happen National Area. Today, actually yesterday, but we'll call it today, marks 6 years since I debuted as a national sales director. And I think my TV's glaring in my glasses. I thought it was helping my light situation in here. But anyway, 6 years ago, this weekend, we debuted as a national area in Mary Kay, one of what only 200 women have accomplished in the history of Mary Kay Cosmetics, maybe about 250. But right now there are 202 active national sales directors in our company. And wow, what an honor, what a privilege to be ranked among some of the highest paid women in America, some of the most influential women in America, some of the smartest, most resourceful, and definitely the best girlfriends you could possibly imagine. I mean, this is just on another playing field. So I feel very blessed today, and I decided to wear my Sweet Life shirt when I was at National Sales Director Daisha Wigant's retreat last month on my birthday. She gave us these shirts, and she did a retreat called Living the Sweet Life. And she talked about really what the sweet life meant to her. And if you follow her on social media at all, you'll know she is definitely living the sweet life. And I'm living it too. Not yet as much as she is, but I definitely am. And so I thought this shirt would be appropriate today as we celebrate our 6-year anniversary. So we're going to get started. We're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. But I want to congratulate you as an area in whole for a great November. We had a fantastic month last month. The numbers, of course, are not final yet because it hasn't closed out. The month just ended, on Friday night. And so we have until about Tuesday to get everything resolved and closed out. And so I really won't know anything until Tuesday afternoon about where we finished. But I know we had some great growth over last November, which I'm very excited about and I'm very thankful for. Our momentum is picking up steam and things are exploding and things are getting bigger and better every day. We opened December with some new DIQs in our national area, and I want to welcome and congratulate from the Talisha Walker unit, Cornica Murray. I think we call her Nika maybe for short, if that's okay. So congratulations, Nika. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you. And from the Letitia Watkins unit, brand new DIQ, Alicia Brady Wright. We are so excited about you, Alicia. And we want to congratulate and welcome you into our space. And we're so excited about bringing you into our national area. And of course, congratulations to their leaders, Talisha Walker and Letitia Watkins, on developing leaders, because that's one of the most important things. I used to hear, I don't know if it was my mom or my dad or who taught me, but they said, you might be the first to do many things, but make sure you're not the last. It's important. Make sure when you turn around, someone is following. Okay, we also have DIQs in our national area. Crystal Mitchell, Linda Jackson, Kiara Williams, and Tasha Jones. So excited. We got 6 DIQs right now, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. I hope I didn't. The reports are not updated yet, and I did my best to put all this together. If I did, please forgive me. I'm not perfect, and I will ask for grace when I mess up. Please tell me when I mess up. Feel free to text me now if I did. And I will keep my phone right here. Yes, I got that one. Okay. And then also in car qualifications, Kiara Williams, she just finished 2 months of car qualifications. So congratulations to you. We're so excited. And then guess what? We have a new car winner in our national area. Our fleet is growing bigger. Our automobile empire in our national area is growing bigger because Rochelle Neal, brand new sales director, just earned her brand new first Mary Kay car. And I'm so excited for her brand new Chevy Cruze. And I know Danny Stowe was the newest person to pick that up in our area. And she will tell you, girl, it's the cutest little car. It's so worth it. You can load those products in the hatchback of that car and get out selling and make it a December to remember. So congratulations to all of our car drivers, all of our on targets. And if I missed an on target because the reports aren't downloaded yet, please just text me really quick. I'm watching my phone right here in front of me and I can see it and I will call you out. Okay. We had a lot of key winners last month. I can't name all of your names because they were close to 100, but if you earned your key, congratulations. We're so proud of you. And I'm going to just go ahead and tell you this. I'm not going to give you any details. Don't ask me. Us directors don't ask me. I'm a vault. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not the national who's going to spill the beans, but there is something really, really big coming on January 1st. Really big. Okay. Mary Kay is rolling out all the stops really big, like massive, okay, like magnanimous. Is that a word? It's going to be huge. Like Nathan is not playing around. Our new president, he's not playing. And when I tell you something big is coming on January 1st, we've never done it in the 55-year history of Mary Kay. We've never done anything like this, ever. And there's more than one thing coming. There's several things coming. But one of them is like really, really freaking big and exciting. You're going to die. You're going to be totally beside yourself, okay? They've already given you a couple of hints. They've already given you some sneak peeks. But I'm just telling you, if you're not in the habit of earning your key every single month, get in the habit this month of earning your key. Okay. Whatever key it is this month, it's Golden Rule Service, which is so very important that we honor that. Earn your key this month for many reasons, but get in the habit of earning your key for the next 7 months. Okay. You can start this month, a new habit. If you've missed one, doesn't matter. No one cares. Wipe the slate clean and get started again. Earn it. Trust me. Okay. The other thing you want to do is you want to get in your red jacket this month. And the last thing you want to do is as you're getting in your red jacket, you want to start looking at who on your team can get into a red jacket. Who's the next person that can also get into a red jacket? Telling you. I'm telling you. Trust me. That's all I can say. Okay. Next, I want to congratulate sales directors Laurie Jackson and Cynthia Frazier. See these earrings that I'm wearing? Aren't they cute? I have them in charcoal gray too, like they match this shirt, but I thought this would be better. Pink for Mary Kay in honor of our anniversary this month. They earned these interviews and you helped them they earned these interviews. They earned these earrings for doing interviews and you helped them earn these earrings this month by doing 30 face-to-face interviews. And so far, as far as I know, there may have been more, but I think that's all I saw in the Voxer. Those are the two directors in our national area who pulled it together and earned their gorgeous Cecilia-inspired earrings. They're my favorite. I wear them every day, and I never have a day that goes by that people don't say, "Oh my gosh, I love your earrings." I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you so much." And my directors can earn these this month. All right. They're in the mail tomorrow. You guys, we've got some awesome promotions going for you. Of course, we're on December 2nd. We're in the middle of book 5 to 10 by the 5th. And so you've still got 3.5 days really, because you got a little bit of time tonight if you live in the central time zone. And then you've got 3 more days before the 5th of December gets here. And 5 gets your name on the flyer, 10 gets your face on the flyer. And can I just tell you that there might or there might not be a special surprise at Winter Retreat for those of you who participate in book 5 to 10 in December. There might or might not be a special surprise for you. So you never know what I'm going to do. You never know what I'm going to pull out of the hat. I would finish it if I were you. And who doesn't want to have bookings on their books? Like, who does not want to have 5 to 10 bookings on their books? I do. I know I do. I want to have 10 appointments on my date books at all times. My director used to tell me that, my director used to tell me that if you didn't have 10 appointments on your date book, that you were going out of business. And so I was like, oh, I don't want to be going out of business. And I certainly don't want anybody to think I'm going out of business. So I'm always going to keep 10 appointments on my date book. Okay. So congratulations to those. Book 5 to 10. Congratulations in advance for those of you who are going to finish it. Let's talk about winter retreat. Let me get comfy here. Okay, because this is like really exciting. Let me just get comfy in my room. I'm sitting here in my chair having a conversation with y'all. Listen, winter retreat is going to be off the charts. Okay, it's going to be off the charts. The reset. Most of you watched us at our director's retreat. Like, you watched us have the most amazing time. We had the most amazing time at our director's retreat. We reset. And we needed it. And we got a lot of things going and cleared out and moving on up. And as a result, now we're raining DIQs. We're raining growth. And we are #better together. No doubt about it. We are better together. And my goal this year is to unite our national area, to bring us all together as one. And we're going to do it at this up and coming retreat. We're going to reset. And it's going to change your life. It's going to be focused on skills. It's going to be focused on emotional management. It's going to be focused on just becoming the best version of yourself that you can become. It's going to be focused on living the sweet life. It is going to blow your mind. And I've got a lot of special surprises in the works for you. You don't even know about yet. I'm working with some sales directors to pull off some things we've never done before. And it's going to change your life. Okay, we got DJ Mallory on the music, and she's going to do a fantastic job with the energy. They're going to train. They're going to blow your mind. My sales directors are off the chain this year, and they are going to blow your mind. So here's the exciting news. Well, it wasn't so exciting for some of you, but the retreat sold out a couple of weeks ago. It actually sold out really, really fast. And on the 15th was the deadline for everybody to pay. It was oversold, actually. It didn't even sell out. It was oversold. I knew some people would cancel, and I knew I could push the envelope a little bit with a few extra registrations. So we let it go a few past what we knew it could go past, and then we had to stop it because we had a contract for a certain amount of people. So on Monday of this past week, one day this week, Brandy and I, my assistant, we were on the phone with Stone Mountain, and we actually were able to renegotiate the contract and renegotiate the space. And we found out that the theater room seats more people than they originally told us that it did. We originally thought it would only seat 100, but it actually seats 150. And by this point, we had like 30-something people on the waiting list, and we were at 108. And so we were almost sold out even with the waiting list. And I was so excited that all of you wanted to be in my space and in the space of our directors, in the space of each other. And I was so excited that you wanted to grow and that you wanted to get better together and that you wanted to reset your new year and that you saw a glimpse of what was happening at our director's retreat and you wanted a piece of it. And I was so excited that so many people really see the potential for themselves and what they can do this year, and that you want to be a part of our growth and our momentum and our story. And if you don't like your story, you can rewrite that blank, 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 right? I won't say it on here, but you know what I'm talking about. And I didn't want all of you to miss out. And so I asked the Marriott, is there any way that we can renegotiate the dining space so that we could accommodate 150 people, the biggest retreat that we've ever had, the most momentum we've ever had, more DIQs and more directors than we've had in a very long time. And she said, yes, there is a way that you can renegotiate the space. And I was like, oh my God, yay. So here we are. We get to negotiate 150 spots. And guess what? They're pretty much gone again. We reopened it like 48 hours ago and told you guys we filled up the ones that were on the waiting list and we added a few more. And Right now, we have 14 spots on the waiting list that you guys have added your names to, but you did not pay yet. Okay, those last 14 of you did not pay, but you're on the waiting list. And so I hate to give away your spot, but it's the last 14 we have. Okay, we're at 130, 136, and we have to close it at 150. So those 14 spots on the waiting list, if you don't take care of it like tonight, okay, tonight, your spot's going to be forfeited and somebody else is probably going to take it. I hate to give those away because I promised you first come, first serve, but you got to get it done because we're about to close it out again. It wasn't even reopened for 48 hours. Okay. So anyway, it's going to be exciting. And in addition, we created a contest that if you ordered $1,000 in wholesale in November or December, you get to come to an exclusive, all exclusive Golden Girls. Are you excited? Golden Girls dinner with me in the Waterside restaurant overlooking the beautiful lake at Stone Mountain. And I have some special surprises for those of you who actually qualified for that. So Golden Girl exclusive. And if you don't know about the Golden Girls and the Golden Goblets, you need to check it out, my friends, because Mary Kay used to give away these golden goblets for her consistent performers, her top performers, and they became like a status symbol of Mary Kay. And Kristen Sharp did such a fantastic tribute to the Golden Goblet this month. And so we posted it. You saw it probably already. And we're going to kind of recreate that tradition. And so I want you to get excited about being a Golden Girl and being an exclusive part of it. We've already had I think 14 people earned this dinner who actually ordered $1,000 in the month of November. So you've still got time. You can eat with the herd or you can eat with me. Okay. The many or the few, whichever you want to be. So it's exciting. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to have a comprehensive list of everyone who's registered posted so you can just make sure all is well. We can start on name tags and roommates and all that good stuff and special requests, and we can get everything moving along instead of keeping registration open until the end of December. I don't want to have to do that. I want to start making plans and getting everything in the works. So get excited. Your t-shirt's going to say The Reset. It's going to be so great. You're going to love Winter Retreat, okay? If you haven't registered or you've got a team member who hasn't registered, get on the phone with them now. Text them right now. If they're on that 14 list, waiting list, have them take care of that right away, okay? Hey, thanks so much for everybody who participated in the 12 days of social selling. It was so fun to watch your videos and to listen to my directors train. I think they're some of the most brilliant women in all of Mary Kay, and I always love to hear their ideas and their strategies and their talents and listen to them communicate on how they're actually working their businesses. And I know you did too. So thank you to everyone who participated. You should have received a thank you gift from me. If you were a director trainer, you would have gotten your actual product gift in the mail from me. And if you were a drawing winner because you participated in selling one of the items that we trained on Facebook Live for 12 days, you actually got that product in the mail from me. Hopefully they've all been shipped and received now. If not, be patient. They'll be there hopefully in the next couple of days, but that was fun. We are looking at doing it again for the 12 days before Christmas. So I will let you know. Stay tuned. All right. So many exciting things going on. I can't even tell you what a great selling season this is. Some of the best months we've ever had as an area we're in December, because that's when people are really buying product. They're selling. They're seeing more people than they've seen all year. They're in that mode of spending money. And I don't know about you, but when Christmas comes along, I don't spend money just on the people I need to buy for. I spend money on myself too. I'm like, oh yeah, I need one of those. And it seems like, oh, well, you're already spending so much. What's a few more things? And that's the kind of like place that people are in this time of year. I'm sure you would agree with me. And so capitalize on it. Get your piece of the pie. Take your piece of what's out there in this really busy holiday season. Because if not, you're going to be a wish I had. You could actually make enough money between now and the end of the next 2 weeks to pay for cash for Christmas, you guys. You could pay cash for Christmas. Like you could literally get out and sell $2,000 or $3,000. I don't know how much your Christmas budget is, but if it's not that much, you could take that extra money and place your order and get in our Golden Girl exclusive luncheon at Winter Retreat. I love I love to earn exclusive things. I love to have extra cash. I love to be in the 1% that achieves above all else. Obviously, I'm a national sales director. I don't like to settle. And when you set goals like this for yourself in months that you know you can get ahead, see, this is a month where you can actually get ahead. This is a month where you can actually do the and then some. This is a month where you can choose to adopt a grandparent, to do that contest, not a contest, but to do that promotion and actually increase your sales. This is the month where you can stretch to be a higher star than you've ever been through your sales and your recruiting, and you can earn extra special things from the company this year. This is the month you get ahead. All right. There are times you get ahead. For example, when you're going to the airport on a Sunday morning, it's going to be easier to get to the airport, right? Because there's no traffic on the road. Instead of it taking you 2 hours in Atlanta when it would normally take you 45 minutes. You like to take advantage of things like that. You want to strategically book a flight on that time if you can. And same thing with your business. There are times that you actually get freebies, you get extras, you get chances and opportunities to make more, to get ahead. And this is one of those times. It's like a Sunday morning ride to the airport. December stretches you, it grows you, it puts you ahead of the game. If you've been playing catch up for the last 6 months because you're behind on your year-end goals, this is the time that you get ahead. Don't underestimate what's left in 2018 to get you where you want to be in 2019. We're halfway through the seminar year. At the end of December, we're going to be halfway through the year. There's going to be 6 months left to actually finish your goals and to wrap things up to get where you want to be this year. Be a glad I did. Don't be a wish I had. Come to Winter Retreat as a goal to be in the top 10 in our national area. Come as a goal to be in a top 10 team building in our national area. Come with a goal to be in the top 10 directors in our national area. Come with more unit members or more team members than you've ever brought with you to an event. Do something different this year. When was the last time you really challenged and astonished yourself? Isn't it just time to become the best version of yourself that you can become? There was a post I put on the all area box just the other day, and I actually saw it with Deanie Stowe, and it just said, visualize your highest self and then start showing up as her. Visualize your highest self and then start showing up as her. What does that really look like for you? And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about tonight. I want to thank you for being here with me on the Hangout. And I want to thank you for your willingness to learn and to grow and to discipline yourself and to never miss a Google Hangout with our national area. Today, again, I told you earlier, is my 6-year anniversary as an NSD. And this choice to become a national sales director it's going to make me emotional, but it's provided a very rich, a very peaceful lifestyle that I'm so grateful for. And I'm so glad I made the choice. And I'm going to talk to you tonight for the remainder of our time together about that choice. It took a lot of discipline to make it this far in Mary Kay. And no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful later on. However, it produces a harvest of peace for those who have been trained by it. And I've definitely been trained by discipline, right? I know that to make it this far in Mary Kay, it takes a lot of emotional management. Pain is our greatest teacher. Do you know that? And I've experienced that more than anybody, I feel like. Not that I want to compare my pain to yours, but this past year or two feels like that I've experienced more pain than one person could possibly imagine or that anybody has experienced. But it is our greatest teacher. And I'll tell you this, we have to learn to stay out of our feelings because there ain't no money there. There's no money in our feelings. We have to learn to stay out of it. And it's sometimes tough to stay out of our feelings, but that's when I know that emotional management is really the key to getting where you want to be in life, really, not just in Mary Kay, but in life. And I've found myself many, many times arguing with myself. Do y'all know what that feels like to argue with yourself? No human being is exempt from emotions. None of us are exempt from grief or pain or um, just hurt or anxiety or frustration or disappointment. None of us are exempt as humans from those emotions. In fact, in the Bible, in the first chapter of James, the first verse tells us that do not oh, I got my Bible verses mixed up. I was thinking about do not become weary in doing good, for in due time you will reap a harvest. That's not James 1:1. That's Galatians 6:9. But in James 1:1, it talks about that we should not be frustrated, you know, for the trials and temptations that life brings us. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that in due time, if we keep going, it makes us better versions of ourselves. It makes us stronger, whole, mature, more complete, not lacking anything, right? And it tells us to count it pure joy when we experience trials and temptations. And I know when we're going through it, we are like, how in the world are you finding the joy in this? But you have to. You have to keep going. Because if you want to live the sweet life, the NSD sweet life, if you want to get there, you've got to learn how to push through. And champions who win are the champions who choose to push through. Champions who win are ones who decide not to argue with themselves. And I choose to hang around with people who push themselves. I choose to hang around with people who challenge me to be better, who challenge me to do better. And you guys, I know what it feels like to step out of your comfort zone. Listen, oh, I am really emotional today. I think I need hormones too. But I know what it feels like to step out of a comfort zone and to leave safe. I know what it feels like to step into hard. I know what it feels like to step into the unknown. I know. I've done it all. I've achieved and accomplished. And this this is about gratitude. Okay. This emotion and these tears, this is about gratitude because I'm so thankful that I made the choice to work my business when I could, because there have been so many times, you guys, when I couldn't. And I can't think of a better place to be surrounded. Sorry, y'all. To be surrounded by than the people that are like the makeup of Mary Kay Cosmetics. It's the richest, most powerful place in the world, in my opinion. And it just doesn't get any better. I know what it feels like to take a risk. I know what it feels like for everything to feel like it's falling apart. I know what it feels like to hurt. If you saw my Facebook post the other day, it said, if you're not experiencing pain, then you're not leading. Because building leaders is painful. Building a business is painful. This is not supposed to be easy. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And if everybody were doing it, it wouldn't have the value that it has. They wouldn't be able to pay us the commissions that they pay us. Anybody could do it. I don't want anybody to be able to do it. Imagine if anybody could become the president of the United States. Imagine if anybody could get into the House and the Senate, which actually at the rate, that was probably a bad example because some of the anybody's could do better than what we have right now. But at any rate, we can all laugh about that, right? Okay, well, you know what I mean. Anyway, let's just keep it moving. I used to tell my sales director, Holly, thank you for pushing me. Thank you for making me better, because she did. She pushed me through my excuses. And that's what a good coach and a good leader does. They push you through your excuses. She used to remind me that my role as a leader was to keep going. She pushed me to be the best version of myself that I could be. She pushed me past my limiting beliefs. She pushed me past the stories in my head that I used to tell myself that weren't true about I wasn't good enough or I wasn't going to make it or what was I thinking? Who was I kidding that I could do this? She pushed me to my next promotion because I was hungry. I was hungry for my next promotion. I wanted more. I wanted more for my life. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be a cookies and Kool-Aid mom in the afternoons. I wanted to pick Mallory and Luke up from school every day, and I did. And I loved the pickup line. And I loved to be home in the afternoons from 3 to 5. And then I loved to go back out if I needed to go back out and hold my unit meeting or my interviews or my skincare classes and facials. I loved being able to work my business everywhere I went, but not all the time. I love the choices that this career gave me. Um, I was continuing to get better and better and better under the leadership of my sales director, and I didn't even know it. And I was thankful to her for not letting me off the hook. It wasn't okay for her to let me off the hook because I asked her to hold me accountable. I asked her to hold me to a higher standard. And you have to hold the standard high enough for people to want to follow you. It's deep. Think about it. You have to be holding your standard high enough that people want to follow you. I just had a conversation the other day with a girl who's been with me over 20 years. And I don't know, maybe she's watching tonight, but she's been in and out of my national area. And I'm so thankful that she stayed with me in and out, in and out. She always came back, and I love her dearly. She's one of my greatest friends in life. But she told me, she said she was just getting started with her business again this past week, and I sent her a link to resign. And she said, Cecilia, there's so many things I admire about you. And she said, I've watched you for so long, and I can't even remember everything she said right now. And this is not about me, but I'm trying to tell you that she saw me hold the standard high enough to want to keep following me. She saw my commitment to excellence through these 27 years I've been in Mary Kay. She saw my stick-to-itiveness. She saw my bounce back ability. She followed so many things about me, and she reminds me all the time how great I am. She's one of my biggest cheerleaders. I remember one time she told me, she said, people are probably intimidated to talk to you. Look at you. And I'm like, why? Like, I love people. I'm so nice and I'm so friendly. And she was like, trust me, they are. And I was like, there's no reason to be. And she said, you don't even understand what you've accomplished and what people see. And I don't see myself like that because I know I'm confident, yes. But I also see myself as humble, and I see myself as approachable. And to me, I'm a servant leader. I remember one of the hardest things for me was when I debuted as a national sales director 6 years ago at the boutique. You know, even as a top sales director, I would stay afterwards and I would clean, I would vacuum, and I would clean toilets, and, I would take the trash out. And when I debuted as a national sales director, I felt awkward stopping those things. I really did. And I remember Cindy and I were meeting together, and it didn't feel right to not clean the toilets. It didn't feel right to not take the trash out. It didn't feel right to not run the vacuum cleaner. But they were looking at me like the other directors in the boutique were like, you can't do that in your national suit. You need to protect the prestige of the position. And I was like, I understand that, but like, I can't stand around and tell people what to do because I'm not that kind of leader. I'm a servant leader. And I want people, people will do what people see, and they will follow a leader who's leading by example. And they're like, but you can't do that anymore. You can't take the trash out. You can't be on your knees, like picking up things in the bathroom and scrubbing the floor. You can't do that anymore. And even Linda Castillo, my sales development director, was like, Cecilia, that's like not part of your position anymore. And it felt so weird. It was hard for me. It was really hard for me to not do those things. It's hard for me now. You know what I did today? Today, I went to the new training center, which is not mine. It's Lisa Charity's. And she opened a new training center when I closed our boutique in Swanee. That's a whole nother story, but Today I went in my painting clothes and I painted her training center, and I cleaned up and I took out trash and I plastered holes in the wall and I hung pictures on the wall. And honestly, the truth is, and she wouldn't mind if I told you this, she documented it on Facebook. The place needed some help. It needed a little touch of TLC and it needed a little sparkle. And the things that had been done just didn't look quite right. And so she asked me, will you come and put your touch on it? Will you come and put your sparkle? And I said, yes, I will. And I paid Brandy, my assistant, she's an interior designer too, to go and help like get it right, because it's a community center and it needs to look a certain way. It's a beauty bar experience now. And we want people to be able to love it and feel proud of it. And so we built a beauty bar and we added these ghost chairs and these lighted mirrors, and it looks amazing now. And we ordered canvases. And, one of the things that I learned in there today was people sometimes, how you do anything is how you'll do everything. And I watched some of the things that were being done and they weren't being done with excellence. And I want to do things with excellence in my life. I think people are watching and they want to follow you. They don't want to follow a leader who's a parked car and who doesn't sign her work with excellence. And I know I haven't done that to my fullest extent in the last 2 years, not to make excuses, but I kind of lost my way a little bit, and I figured that out and I got it back, but I'm still figuring out that I sign my work with excellence and I don't want to do things halfway. Someone said to me today, do you really need to be like that picky about it? Like no one's going to see that. And I was like, really? Yes, I do. I do, because it's my work and I want to look back and I want to be proud of it. And I want to know that I did my best and that I gave my best and that I gave the best to this new center, because it's a landmark in our area, in our geographical area. And we're going to hold directors meetings there and we're going to do events there and we may hold parties there. And yes, it does matter. I want people to come in and have a great impression about what we do. And what I realized today about the group of people that were there is that they've still got a lot of growing and learning to do. And so do all of us. We're always becoming the best version of ourselves and human becomings. But I can see what makes me different, because I go the extra mile. I know why I was able to become a national sales director. I went the extra mile. I did the and then some. I stamped my work with excellence. I wanted to do better. I wanted to raise the bar. I didn't want to just, excuse my language, half-ass it. I didn't. I wanted to do it right. And that's one of the things I think you got to dig deep and find. Do you do things with the utmost excellence? I don't know what other word to use. I'm probably rambling now, but I learned a lot today just watching and learning. And I've seen it out in the field sometimes working with people is, they think they can just stick their little toe in before they dive in. Like, for example, refusing to order inventory when you know that having inventory on hand would increase your sales, right? You wouldn't have to spend as much time ordering and redelivering product. Keeping a starter kit on hand so that you could give it to her on the spot and get her started. All the little things that we do make a big difference. Okay. So I don't know how I got off on that, but I think I was talking about you've got to hold the standard high enough for people to want to follow you, and I was being really picky about things today, about the way a picture was hung and the amount of space that was between it, because the details do matter. They matter. The way things look, the way people perceive things, they matter. And it matters all the way into your business. And so make sure your standards are high and that you're in the right circle of people. You guys, I never stopped working. You asked me how did you make it this far in Mary Kay? And if you ask me, was it worth it? Yes, it absolutely was. I never stopped working. The reason that I made it this far is because I didn't start and stop. I didn't start and stop. People are very emotional. We're emotional creatures. And we let life get in the way a lot of times. And when you're a leader, I think you understand that there are seasons. You're going to go through seasons. You're going to go through good seasons and you're going to go through bad seasons. It's not always going to be easy. Have there been times when I wanted to quit? Yes. Have there been times when I asked myself, is this really worth it? Yes. Have there been times when I wanted to shoot holes in my starter kit? Yes. Have there been times when I really felt alone? Yes. Have there been times when I didn't feel like this was working? Yes. Have there been times when I questioned it and questioned my faith? Yes. Have there been times when I questioned my ability? Yes, there have. Have there been times when there was nothing happening and I was the only one working and I didn't know where my next set of like people were going to come from? Yes, there have been many of those. But my willingness to stick to it took me to where I am today, which is almost approaching the $3 million mark in commissions. It's approaching 45, $46 million in retail sales as a national area. 46 million between me as a top sales director and my national area in 27 years. Do you understand? Like little me, who doesn't even have a college degree. Did you know that about me? I have an associate's degree in fashion merchandising, a 2-year associate's degree in fashion merchandising. I don't have rich parents. I didn't have rich parents. I don't have lots of letters behind my name. I don't have any of those things. I didn't have any experience really when I started Mary Kay. I just had a willingness and a calling and a desire for more. I wanted to be more and I wanted more. Have I taken short breaks in Mary Kay? Yes, but not when I couldn't afford to do it. Okay. I didn't start and stop, which is one of the most dangerous things that consultants do. I look sometimes at people coming and going and coming and going and coming and going, and they leave and they come back and they leave and they come back. Because sometimes when we get all up in our head and we're full of emotions, Mary Kay is the easiest thing to let go of. And that's not okay, because if you let it go, it's twice as hard to come back and restart than it is to just keep going. Like, don't stop. You don't have to let it go just because life is happening to you. This is a judgment-free zone. I love you unconditionally. I do not judge you in any way. Okay. I had a consultant yesterday text me and ask me, could she come to the retreat? And I said, yes, well, this is what happened. And she got in and she said, I'm so embarrassed because I've said this and I've talked and I've talked and I've talked and I haven't done it. And I was like, it's okay, because I love you unconditionally. My love for you does not depend on what you're doing in Mary Kay. You don't have to feel embarrassed here. You don't have to feel judged. As a consultant or a director in my area, you don't have to feel bad about what you've not done or what you've said you're going to do and you didn't follow through on. I don't care. I love you anyway. If you do it, great. I want you to do it. I want to bring you on this journey with me. But if you don't, it's okay too. When you're ready, I'm here. The door is always open. Rarely will I ever tell you to hit the road. Like, I can think of 2 people in 27 years that I've said, get out, go find another consultant or another area, literally because they were driving me insane. Like, they didn't even, let's don't even go there. 2 people in 27 years. Okay. And that was just really unique, rare experience. I'm being really honest and transparent with you. It's okay. We want you to win. Come back. People stay in our national area because they appreciate the experience. They appreciate the vulnerability here. They appreciate that I'm real and I'm authentic and I'm a humble leader. I'm confident, but I'm humble. Okay. I don't think I'm better than you. I don't think that I have anything you don't have. I just know that I want to sign my work with excellence and I want to do things the right way. And I wanted to love my life. And I do. I love my life. And if I had not made the choice to become a national sales director, I don't know if I would have loved it as much. I think about my life 6 years ago, and I was a top sales director with a really good income, $150,000 to $180,000 a year as a top sales director. And I had great friends. I was traveling the world. I had everything in my life going for me, but I still wanted more. I still wanted to take this to the highest position that we can achieve, which was that of a national sales director. And to do that, we have to attract the many to find the few that are going to go on the journey with us. And I did that. I attracted the many as a top sales director, MANY, not many, many, as an opposite of few, um, that are going to take the journey with me. And there will always be people, you guys, who make their excuses their leader's problem. There will always be many of you who are making your excuses my problem. And your excuses are not my problem, they're your problem. Am I here to help you and coach you and guide you? Yes. Is your sales director capable of doing that? Yes. But she cannot take on your excuses as her problems. You cannot blame her for why you're not where you want to be. That's on you. Okay. We can't take responsibility for your success or your failure as a leader. And so if you're working to move up, you have to ask yourself, do I have the right people? Because listen, you guys, there are days when there are going to be days when you don't feel like doing this. There are going to be days when it's harder than other days. There are going to be days when you want to bail on your goal and bail on your director and bail on your team and bail on me. And there are going to be days when you can't even justify doing the activity that you want to do. It's going to happen. But if you know this up front, you can prepare yourself for it. Some days, even the simple things like looking at your vision board seem like an impossible task if you're not in a good place emotionally. If you haven't, if you haven't surrounded yourself with listening to Google Hangouts and showing up for your unit meeting every week and calling Quantum Leap every day or the $1 Million Message for inspiration, if you haven't shown up for winter retreat and career conference and seminar, you're going to feel like there are days when you can't make it. Some days making the 25 calls that you need to make are going to feel hard. I know I've done it all. There's not an accolade in this company that I do not own. Not one. You see, I wanted to own all the accolades because I wanted to make it this far. And I knew I had to hit every step on the ladder to make it this far. And I did. And therefore, I can teach you to do it. I can coach you to do it. And I'm so thankful for the person I became in the process because it was the greatest reward of my life. I remember on December 1st, 2012, I sat down and I was like, wow, holy wow. Like, did I really just do this? Did I really just become a national sales director? It took me 20 years, you guys. It took me 20 years to become a national sales director. It's not supposed to take that long, but it did. And you want to know why? Because I never built enough people fast enough at the same amount of time. I've told you 1,000 times. I have the key. I know the secret to living the sweet life. I know the secret now. And the secret is that your success in this company depends on how much time passes between your wins. It depends on how much time goes between your parties. It depends on how much time passes between your phone calls. It depends on how much time happens between your recruits. It depends on how much time goes between you showing up at your unit meetings. It depends on how much time goes between you picking up the phone to follow up with customers and reorder and follow up with your guest. If you let too much time lapse between each one of your wins, it's going to take you 20 years. And that's what happened to me. I let too much time go between building leaders. I built one director at a time. For too many years. And I didn't build it fast enough. And therefore, I was losing as I was building. And that's okay. The loss is going to be there. And for a long time, I got too emotionally attached to the loss. I'm being very real with you. And that's what happens. People come and go in this company. You can't look at what other people do and let it affect what you're going to do with this company. You can't judge somebody else's success or failure based on what you're going to do. Just because someone's not a nurse anymore doesn't make them a bad nurse or a bad person. Okay? Just because someone was a teacher before doesn't make them less of a teacher or less of a person because they decided not to teach. Think about companies. People come and go all the time. Okay? They they have their different reasons. We don't judge that. Think about Target. People might go work at Target for a season. People people might go, work at the hospital for a season or a reason. They might go work there for 5 or 10 years and get burned out. My mom is retiring from the hospital in about 3 weeks. She's been there for 25 years. She's miserable. She hates it. She loved it when she started, but she got burned out after 20, 25 years. It's okay. People change. And if they don't want to do Mary Kay anymore, okay. Who cares? I don't care if you don't want to do Mary Kay anymore. I still love you. How you leave should be just as beautiful as how you came in. You don't have to feel weird. You don't have to run from me. You don't have to hide. And we don't have to make people feel any other way when they decide to leave Mary Kay. Who cares? I'm not going anywhere. I love Mary Kay. I love Mary Kay Cosmetics. I love this company, but you may not. Everybody else may not. That's okay. I don't care. Like, I still love you the same, unconditionally. I had a conversation on Friday night with a leader in my area who's not a leader in my area anymore, but she's still in my area. And we haven't spoken in a year and a half. And she said, "Do you hate me?" And I was like, "No, I don't hate you. In fact, I love you. You're one of my most favorite people. I have loved you for the whole 20 years I've known you. Just because you chose a different path doesn't mean that I love you any less. It doesn't mean that you can't come back anytime." And now she's talking about it and thinking about it. Of course, I'm going to welcome you with open arms. Forget the awkwardness. Let it go, people. We're not going to judge you. Okay? We're going to be here. You can walk. Holly Crumley used to tell me, I want people to come and go into my unit and know that I'm still here doing the same thing, trucking along the same way I was, and that nothing has changed except that I'm getting better and I still love them and they can hop back on the train anytime they want to. Now, do I want you to get on and off the train? Am I encouraging that? No, I don't want you to get off the train. You're going to probably get run over if you do, because I'm going to keep going. And if you don't go on the journey with me and the other one doesn't work out, you might want to hop back on and you might have to run to catch up, but that's okay. Run, catch up, get on. We're going to welcome you with open arms. It'd be easier if you stayed on. Even if you take a little step back but kept going, it'd be easier, okay? But you can't blame me or anybody else for what you were unwilling to do. You got to stop using God's almightiness for an excuse for your unwillingness. I'm not unwilling. Listen, I love Mary Kay because it's not easy. I love the challenge. I love the thrill. I love to figure things out. I love to make things happen as I go. I love to fly by the seat of my pants. I love that it's teaching me to step out of the box. I love that I had enough courage to jump out of an airplane this summer. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I love that I'm not afraid of anything. I love that I'm a risk taker and that it's teaching me to push the envelope. I love that I have accepted coaching. And if you're not willing to accept coaching and you're not willing to stretch, then, maybe this is not for you if you don't want to be coached and you don't want to be better. This takes a lot of grit and perseverance. And it's rarely about the emotion of feeling good. It's about grit and perseverance, and it's about healthy living. It's about good choices and energy and being in the top 2% of the world. And it's about who we surround ourselves with. And you will become like the 5 people you surround yourself with. Trust me, people don't understand our world. And if you leave Mary Kay before it was your turn to leave or your time to leave, you're going to miss out. because the pink positivity bubble is an amazing place to be. And that's why people stay so long, because the way it makes them feel. People come into Mary Kay to make money, and they stay in Mary Kay for the way it makes them feel. You cannot question the stability and the integrity of Mary Kay Cosmetics. It's 55 years proven, debt-free, solid foundation. The president we have right now has taken us to a new level. We've got amazing products and amazing staff supporting us. We've got stability. We've got growth. We've got leaders up by 46%. We were up, I forgot the number, but he told us in our NSD announcement at the beginning of the month, we were up like some astronomical amount in production and new DIQs and new directors and new car drivers. Our numbers are bigger than they've ever been in my 27-year history, and the pot's getting sweeter than it's ever been. Don't get in your head and leave. Don't get in your head and walk away. And I'm not talking about this because people are leaving. It's just a good time for me to talk about how I made it this far and why I'm so glad I made the choice to become a national sales director. And I'm talking to you about the reasons why people don't make it this far and why they leave. And I don't want you to be one of those people. I want you to stay with me. I want you to go. I want you to know that me making a choice to become a national sales director has provided me with a path of financial security. Do you know that I have all of the financial security that I need? I only have, a very small amount of expenses to take care of every month because of becoming a national sales director. I was able to become debt-free. I was able to take my finances to another level. I was able to have spending money and disposable income. Do you know I have to pay property taxes on December 1st, yesterday? And do you know I was able to write a check and not flinch about that? Do you know I'm not worried about paying my mortgage or my power bill or my light bill or buying new clothes for a trip I might want to do? I'm not worried about traveling. I've flown 7 times in the last 8 weeks by choice. I'm flying on Tuesday to go see my good friend, National Sales Director Diane Mentiply, who's moving into a brand new, gorgeous National Sales Director home, a home of her dreams. And she asked me would I come and help her move and decorate and put things where they go. Come put my sparkle on it. And I said yes. And I bought a plane ticket Friday night. Friday night. I hopped on Southwest and bought a plane ticket to go to Boston on Tuesday for a couple of days because I can. I love my life. I could not do this if I had to ask somebody to be off to go visit my friend. I couldn't do it. I love my Mary Kay business because becoming a national sales director gave me the choice to travel. I've been to 17 countries, you guys. I didn't even have a passport 10 years ago. I never left the United States. I was probably scared to leave the United States. 17 countries because I made a choice to keep going. I love that I made a choice to become a national sales director 6 years ago because it gave me a level of influence that I would have never had before. And I love the influence that I have. I love to pick up the phone and get something that I need done. I love to walk into a restaurant and use the skills and the influence that I've had to get a table. I loved 2 weeks ago when National Sales Director LaRonda Daigle was in town and she came up to me, called me and said, come watch Madison, my daughter, play at Georgia State University, and they were winning a national championship for Texas State volleyball, and it was the most exciting thing to watch. And that coach has been there for 39 years. She loves kids. She's passionate. She loved coaching, and she was good at what she did. And she didn't get there by quitting. She didn't get there by staying in her feelings in any way. She didn't bring those kids to a national championship by giving up when she didn't have a good enough team. She took those kids to the next level year after year after year. And you don't stay somewhere at a college for 39 years if you aren't a winner. She didn't get there by quitting. Not everybody has it in them to do that. It's the makings of a national sales director. It's the makings of a champion. Just like what you saw yesterday on the SEC championship. And I'm not even going to get into that Georgia-Alabama thing right now. I don't even know what happened, to be honest with you. I think Alabama won. But at any rate, don't kill me, my Alabama loves. I love you guys, okay? Congratulations if that's what happened. But what I was going to tell you that night is that I looked at LaRonda and we were going to dinner and we went to one of my favorite places, True Food Kitchen in Atlanta. And we called and it was a 2.5 hour wait. And I was like, oh, let's just go. Maybe it won't be that bad when we get there. And we pulled in and she really didn't want to wait long. She's like, let's go somewhere else. And I was like, just give me 1 minute. And I went inside and I worked my magic at the hostess stand and we sat right down. It's influence, you guys. It's knowing how to get what you want. I learned that by becoming a national sales director and surrounding myself with people who taught me how to get what I want. Not in a spoiled, rotten brat kind of way, but I have skills. I can negotiate, okay? I know how to make things happen. I'm thankful for becoming a national sales director because the number one word I had on December 1st, 2012 was peace. It was peace. Like, I remember that day. The doorbell was ringing like crazy. People were delivering flowers. They were delivering china and diamonds and strawberries and edible arrangements. And the phone was ringing off the hook. And the president of Mary Kay called to congratulate me. And every department head at corporate called to congratulate me. And my paycheck doubled. At the stroke of midnight on December 1st, 2012, my paycheck doubled. You guys, it doubled. My income was already grand and it doubled because I made the decision to do something hard and to keep going. And the word I had was peace. And I think I slept for the entire month of December. I did. I slept for the whole month. I didn't even know how tired I was, but it was so worth it because now I have the freedom and the choices that people will never know. When I made a decision to become a national sales director, it gave me a newfound confidence that people will probably never have. It forced me to step out of my comfort zone. It taught me to be a better human. It basically just gave me like human education, how to be a better human. Seriously, how to be a better human. On December 1st, 2012, I created a job that I love. I created a lifestyle that I loved. No one said it was going to be easy. Anybody that's developed anything, an app, a website, a company, it wasn't easy. I think about Sarah, whatever her name is, the lady who started Spanx. Do you think it was easy for her to develop that company? Don't we love Spanx more than anything? Do you think that was easy? Do you think building a software program was easy when Kevin O'Leary sold it for $5 billion out of his basement? And now he's one of the richest people on the planet? Do you think writing code and selling it and finding the right buyer is easy? Have you watched those entrepreneurs on Shark Tank present their ideas to the sharks? And they have years of investment, years of recruiting people to believe in them and to help fund their projects, years of tweaking and getting it right. Why is your Mary Kay business any different? It's not. You got to treat it like a business, like a real thing. That's what makes the difference. This is not a hobby. It's not a part-time thing you play around with. If you want this to work, you got to treat it like a job. Just like you show up for 40 hours to be a nurse or a teacher or anything else. Becoming a national sales director in December 1st, 2012 gave me a freedom and flexibility that I never even knew was possible. I can do with every hour of every day whatever I want to do. It gave me prizes I never thought I could earn. I don't ever have to buy myself jewelry or really anything else, especially travel. Becoming a national sales director gave me respect. It put me in an arena for personal growth. I didn't even know what personal growth was when I started Mary Kay, but I get it now. I get it now. And most importantly, what it gave me was passing on this legacy to my beautiful daughter, Mallory, and watching her blossom into the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen in my life, and all of you know and love, and that people look up to and respect immensely. It's the greatest compliment in the world when your children want to do what you do, and when they follow in your footsteps, and when they do it well. And one day, she and I are going to be traveling the world together as mother-daughter national sales director team, just like the other 20-something that exist right now. There is actually a complete legacy, a mother-daughter legacy, and a mother-daughter trip and a boxer group, and all the $1 Million Message that you guys listened to that Kristen Sharp started was a mother-daughter legacy. And it's just the most exciting thing in the world to watch her grow and blossom and become a beautiful woman of power and influence over so many people. I mean, I can't go a day without someone asking me about her or telling me how proud they are of her. And she's about to celebrate her 1 year anniversary as a sales director on December 31st this year. She finished on New Year's Eve, and what a glorious day it was. What a great way to start off 2017. And she's going to close out 2018. She's going to close out 2018 as a member of the Dean's List, having achieved all of the new director challenges, earning 2 cars this year, and debuting an offspring, the beautiful Daniela Stowe. And she's also going to finish and rank in the top 3 of her class, of her debuting class. And so I'm asking you to cheer her on this month, and to prayers over her unit as they pull out the biggest investment they've had in the history of being a unit this year, and starting off 2019 with an incredible momentum. You guys, I did this by making a decision. I made a decision. I immersed myself in the culture. I read books that got me close to where I wanted to be. I kept going when I didn't want to. I held more parties than anybody else. I showed up. I studied up. I didn't let the rejection get to me. I shook off my feathers like I did at Letitia and Pam's Thanksgiving dinner. I shook off my feathers when the things got tough and people quit on me. When people said no, when people returned their product, when people returned things they had bought, when someone was porched me, when I drove to South Carolina and she was a no-show, I just kept going. I kept going. And that's my biggest success secret. When everybody around me quit, I kept going. I didn't have any rich parents. I told you earlier, I didn't have any handouts. I didn't have any favors. It was straight hustle all day, every day. And it was the greatest decision of my life. Most people will never experience anything like this in their life. And I want you to. I want to have an offspring national sales director, and not just one. I want to have several, many. I want to have 7, 8, 9, 10. And I can tell you this, if you're going to ask me, is it worth it? It is. And a year from now, you're going to be glad you started today. Because if you think about where you were 6 years ago today, I bet there are many things in your life that you can remember where you were and what you were doing. I bet you know exactly what you were doing on 9/11. I remember exactly where I was when Michael Jackson passed away. I can't think of anything else right now as significant current events or world events in the past. But if you think about what you were doing 6 years ago today, is your life better today than it was 6 years ago? Is it worse than it was 6 years ago today? Is it the same as it was 6 years ago today? And that's a really important question for you to ask yourself, because a decision I made 6.5 years ago, because it took me 6 months to pull this together once I made the decision, a decision I made 6.5 years ago put me at a different place today. And if you're in the same place today that you were 6 years ago, or a worse place than you are 6 years ago, in your business, Mary Kay, or in your personal life or financial life or anything, what would a decision tonight mean for you this time next year? How could your life look differently this time next year? Because I can promise you, if you write this down or you save this video and you look back in a year from now, you'll be glad you started today. I promise you that. And if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Because the only way you fail in Mary Kay is to quit. We're not going to let you fail. Okay? We're here to help you. We're here to grow you. I want you to reach your goal. I want you to be a part of something bigger. I want you to be a part of a winning team. We're experiencing that right now in our national area, publicly and privately, and we're here to hold you accountable and to help you. And your deadline is going to inspire a higher level of commitment on your part. And if you put a deadline on your goal, you've got to know your deadline. It's going putting yourself out there is going to hold you to a higher level of commitment. Most of you have heard about a concept called the middle miles. And it has to do with the fact that when the excitement wears off from the beginning, when you're going for a really big goal, that renewed motivation that comes when you can see the end of the goal is good and the beginning is good, but the middle miles is the hardest part. That's where the journey gets really hard and it seems so far away. And you kind of get tired in the middle and you feel like, is it worth keeping going? It is. Trust me, it is. And I'm here to tell you that if you don't give up and you resist that urge in the middle miles, it's going to be so worth it in the end. Don't change the goal. Magic things happen when you use your stick-to-itiveness and your bounce back ability and you keep going. Even when it's hard, it's going to be worth it. The decision to become a national sales director was the greatest one I ever made. And I'd like to invite you to take your business to the next level. It might be becoming a red jacket. It might be a team leader, a car driver, DIQ, a sales director, a national sales director, a senior national sales director, senior director, even, just to pass your position on. That's all Mary Kay wanted. And if she's made a positive impact on your life, like she has mine, pass it on, because that's what she would ask you to do. This is not about the product. This is about the opportunity and enriching women's lives. It's about who we become in the process. It's not about the product. The product is a vehicle. Women love makeup. They're going to buy it from somewhere. They might as well get it from you. It's just a vehicle. We have the greatest product right now on the market. If you ask me, you got to use it, fall in love with it, and get it out there. I just want to close and say, well, thank you for sticking with me this far, of course, but thank you for the privilege of leading our national area. Thank you for the privilege of being your national sales director. Thank you for the privilege of living this NSD sweet life, because it really is a sweet life. And I'm very grateful, as if you could not already tell, I'm very grateful to be your national sales director and to have this position. And I always want to make you proud. I don't ever want to let anybody down. Y'all call me Nash for a reason. Cindy gave me that name 6 years ago. Everybody was, when we were at the boutique celebrating our debut, all of the directors came. We had all 20 directors there and everybody in my family and as many people as we could fit in the boutique. And it was one of the greatest days of my life. It really was. And, they were calling me national. And I was like, oh, that feels so formal. Like, it feels so weird. Like, don't call me national. They were like, national, hello, national, good morning, national. And and I appreciated the respect. Believe me, I did. But it felt like, I don't know. And Cindy goes, how about Nash? And I was like, yeah, I like that. Okay. And that's how I got the name Nash. And so that's why everybody calls me Nash. And I love it. And it's my nickname. And I wouldn't want to change it for the world. And you can call me Nash too. And I will answer and I will love it. So thank you for the privilege of being your Nash. And thank you for 6 great years. I look forward to the next 6 and doubling the size of our national area, doubling everything, becoming a Diamond Circle National and on to Inner Circle eventually. And I promise I will do it with the utmost honesty and integrity. To the best of my ability, I will be the best national sales director that you could ask for. And here's to 6. Cheers with my water. Here's to 6 more years together. Always better together. Y'all have a great evening. Good night.